guys, it's me Krystal. I'm back with a review for you. So I posted a picture on Instagram of the Boots No7 Beautifully Matte Foundation that I had recently picked up maybe a few weeks ago, and then also the Beautifully Matte Makeup Base. So let's start with the foundation. This is the packaging. Sorry, there's a glare there. So that's what the packaging looks like. This Beautifully Matte Foundation is for normal to oily skin. Its coverage is medium to full coverage. It has an SPF of 15 and it's supposed to last up to 14 hours with a soft, even finish. And it's supposed to be shine free. So this is the actual packaging. And I like it because it's nice, slim, it's sleek, it's 1 fluid ounce, it's hypoallergenic. It has a pump, which is nice, especially for, you know, when you're buying a drugstore foundation, it comes with the pump. So I really like the fact that it does have the pump. The color selection is not very good. That's one big bummer. This color that I have is called Cool Ivory. It's the second to the lightest shade. The majority of the shades were cool toned. I think there's 6 shades total, and I know it's a fairly new foundation, so I don't know if maybe, you know, they're seeing how it does and then they will possibly come out with more colors. Hopefully that's the case. But I did get the second to the lightest shade, and like 3 of the 6 or 4 of the 6 colors are cool tone. So I don't really like cool tone foundations because they have that pink undertone, and I feel like I need something more neutral, or I'd rather do something a little more yellow. So it isn't an exact match for my skin tone, but I can make it work by blending it down my neck. And so I am going to show you a demonstration how I apply it, but I want to talk a little bit about it first. It does blend into the skin nicely, gives you a nice medium to full coverage. Just like it says. I have it on now, so I do have hyperpigmentation, and it does cover up that really well, and it just blends really nicely into the skin. It's fine that it oxidizes just a little bit, but this color is a little bit too dark for me, so maybe that's part of the problem, but it did oxidize just a little bit. The lasting power is pretty good. It does keep me pretty shine free, except for in my T-zone area. Maybe after 4 to 5 hours I start to getting oily in my T-zone. Not extremely bad, just a little bit, so I just need to blot or, you know, touch up my powder a little bit. But for the most part, it does last pretty long throughout the day. So I'm really liking this foundation. I just wish they had a better color selection. This one's too dark. I have it on the back of my hand. It's dried now, but as you can see, this is too dark of a shade for me, and it also has that pink undertone, which I don't like. So I don't know if you can even tell the difference. I did blend it down my neck, but oh well. I could try the lighter shade, the lightest shade, but it's also a cool tone, so I'm probably gonna still have the same problem as far as the pink undertones. So hopefully they do come out with more colors, but overall I do like the foundation. It does keep you pretty matte, long lasting. It has good coverage. You find it at the drugstore. It's made in France. It is a little bit pricey, $13.99, but it is a good foundation. So I don't know. I just wish they had more colors. I can't emphasize that enough. You know, make more colors. That's it for the foundation. Just stay tuned for the demonstration on how I apply it to my face. I'm not going to do where I come back a few hours later to show you what it looks like, just because I have some errands to run today and I don't know that I'm going to have time. But, you know, you can see it on now. I do look matte. It has good coverage. That's pretty much it. So now I'm going to move on to the Boots No7 Beautifully Matte Makeup Base. This is what the packaging looks like. And this is, let's see, it says Stop Shine for a matte finish and improves blemishes. It's hypoallergenic. It contains cucumber extract to help smooth skin and salicylic acid to help fight against spot-causing bacteria. So for best results, smooth on moisturized skin under foundation for satin soft, shine-free skin. It says keep shiny skin under control all day with this mattifying oil-free base. Light reflecting particles help disguise fine lines and flaws, while Meadow Sweet helps regulate oil production to minimize blemishes without blocking pores. So I really like the packaging. It's just a nice kind of pearlescent white packaging. It's a squeeze tube. I think this was around the same price. It was around $12.99 or something like that. So I really like this compared to other face primers, because a lot of traditional face primers, they have the silicone. They're like silicone based. So the silicone tends to break me out. So I've tried many facial primers, you know, that smooth, silky filling face primer, those always tend to break me out. And I know it's the silicone in them that does that, because there's just like that common denominator every time I use one. Well, this is, I was surprised, but it's completely different. They don't call it a primer, they just call it a makeup base. And when you squeeze it out, it's like this pearly white consistency. It's thick, it's not runny. When you blend it in, it instantly starts to mattify and dry. And it doesn't feel like silicone based at all. It doesn't have that slick, slippery, smooth feeling. It feels smooth, but it starts to dry really instantly and mattifies right away. You can feel the texture. It's a little rougher than like if it was a silicone based primer. So it instantly mattifies. Right when you put it on, you can tell that it mattifies. And the reason I love this stuff is because it does not break me out, and I can use it with my dewy finish foundations. I have combination to oily skin, so dewy finish foundations don't really work well for me because within a couple hours they make me look super greasy. I look like a grease ball, and nobody wants to look like a grease ball. So this allows me to wear dewy finish foundations. I have a few that I like when I first put on, but it just, they don't last. They don't look well after a couple hours, so I don't really wear them because of that. So I tried using this under my L'Oreal Lumi foundation, this one here. I love the way this looks when I first put it on, but it just starts to look very oily and just not good within a couple hours. So this allows me to use this foundation, and it really helps keep me more mattified and not so dewy and shiny. So it works really, really well with like dewy finish foundations. If you're oily, I would highly recommend this makeup base. It's really, really awesome. I love it. I don't recommend using this with a matte foundation. For instance, I use these two products together, the matte foundation and the matte makeup base, and they just don't work well together. It makes it too matte where I put this on and it mattifies my face, and then I go to put the foundation on and it makes it really hard to blend because my face is already matte and the foundation is a matte foundation. So it makes it really, really hard to blend it into the skin, and it just looks kind of cakey and patchy. And then like around my nose, like if I would blow my nose or wipe somewhere around my nose, you would see all the little pores in my nose just because it was so matte, and it would kind of rub around the pore area. I don't know, it just didn't work together very well at all. So I wouldn't recommend it with a matte foundation, but I would recommend it with a more like satin, dewy finish foundation. It works really, really well for those. I love this stuff. So I highly recommend this for oily skin people. If you have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend it at all. No. So I'm gonna put on the foundation, and I just like to squirt it on the back of my clean hand. I do about a pump or a pump and a half. That's what it looks like. For this, I'm going to use my Sephora airbrush brush, this one here. All my foundation brushes are really dirty, so I wanted to use a clean brush for this demonstration. So I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to kind of stipple this on my face. As you can see, I do have redness, discoloration. I do have some acne scars, so you guys will see how well it covers it up. And I guess I need my mirror. So it blends in really easily, no problem blending it. Make sure you blend down your neck, especially because this color for me, I feel like it's a little too dark for me. And it does have a slight pink undertone, which I don't like. It is a cool toned color foundation. So I'm just going to get a little more on the back of my hand because that wasn't quite enough. And I'm going to go on this side. Sorry, I just want to make sure it's blended really, really well. So I need a little more light. Whoa, that's too much light for you guys. So that's one coat. I think that is enough. It does give pretty decent coverage. I feel like I have a little more on this side than this side, maybe around the eye area. So let me just put a little bit more under the eye area. Alright, so there is pretty much one layer with the exception around this area here. I put a little more. So I think it covers pretty well. Don't you guys think so? You can't really see my hyperpigmentation too well. My acne scars are pretty well covered up. I mean, you can see like my sunspot and stuff peeking through just a little bit, but for the most part I think it covers very, very well. Again, the color is kind of off. It's not my exact match. I know it's hard to tell from my face, but if you look at the back of my hand, you can definitely see that the foundation there is darker than the rest of my arm. So not quite an exact match for me. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If I didn't answer any questions that you may have, just put your questions down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, you can find these at Target. They're around $13, something like that. They're made in France. I like both of them. I just wish the foundation came in more shades. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.